Hi, welcome back to Crafting a Country Life. I thought it would be fun to jump on today and share my project bag organization. And I thought this would be a fun thing to do because I don't know if you're like me, but I have a number of hobbies that I enjoy. I enjoy sewing, I enjoy knitting, I enjoy hand spinning and quilting. I do paper crafting, and I'm an artist by training and professionally through my teaching. Um, and for me, having bags ready that are packed with the supplies and the projects that I have ongoing is really important because I can just grab the bag and take it wherever it is that I'm going to be working on it, whether it's outside or downstairs in my home, or if we're traveling, I can just grab and go. And it's really easy. And it's nice not to have to go riffling through all of my supplies to pull out the paints or the right brush or the right sketchbook or, the right knitting needles, or everything is in the bag with the projects and I can just grab and go. So let me share with you what my strategy is and has been for a long time. Okay, so let's start with my knitting bag. I'm going to share that with you first because it's small. Now this is one of the knitting bags that I have. And I have multiples of these in the house with different projects in them that I can pick up and work on. I'm not happy doing one project at a time, so I rotate between some different projects depending on my energy level, my mental bandwidth. If it's late at night, I like to work on some simple knitting while I'm sitting and watching a movie or something. Whereas during the early part of the day, if I have an opportunity to do some knitting, I might want to work on something that requires a little more concentration. So I have different projects in different bags. I put this zipper pouch together on my sewing machine, and I lined it with some, I think I lined this one with flannel. And then inside, I'm keeping a set of socks that I'm working on. And this is what I have going here. They're not quite finished, as you can see, but this is the project that I have tucked into this bag, and it fits really beautifully inside this size pouch. I can tuck this into my backpack or take it with me in the car if we're going somewhere or traveling, and it makes a nice, easily manageable tote bag. So I've got my yarn, and I've got my instructions and piece of paper for notes. I keep my knitting gauge in there as well, and a pencil. And this is actually my mother's knitting zipper pouch. She had this one in her stash, and now I've inherited it, and every time I use it, I think of her. She was a really industrious crafter and a beautiful knitter. So I've got all of my supplies in here for knitting and crochet. So that is my knitting bag. I'll pop these right inside and tuck this one to the side, and I can share with you the next one. Okay, so that's one of my knitting project bags. The next one I have two of these. These are art pouches, and these are grab and go. Again, this one I keep downstairs near where my coat closet is, and that way if we're going on a day trip or overnight somewhere, I just reach into the cupboard and I grab this and I tuck it into my traveling bags. And this is nice and compact. In this one I keep a set of short colored pencils, pencil sharpener, a pen for taking notes or drawing, and then I have one of my watercolor sets in here, just a pant set, inexpensive, nothing too pricey. And then I've got a set of different kinds of pencils, charcoal pencils and a little stipple for blending, charcoal pencils and regular drawing pencils. Okay, and a small sketch pad that I keep closed with a rubber band. And then, of course, when we're away, especially if we're in a motel or visiting friends overnight or family, I can because I do get up early in the morning, I can take out my sketchbook while I'm having my morning tea and work on some projects, or just do some doodling, you know, whatever comes to mind. A lot of times if I watch, you know, a YouTube, I can take notes about the projects that I'm inspired by. This looks like it might have been a quilting project that I never that I never actually brought to fruition, but I did some sketching for it and wrote some notes down. A few more doodles. And that's all I've got in this one so far. So that is one of my art bags. I do love these. And they really are, as I say, you just grab and go. You don't have to worry about what you forgot. Everything's in the bag for you. And there's that one. Okay. The other one, similar, but I keep this one up in my studio, and, you know, if I'm upstairs and I want to use it, I can just pull it out. I keep some watercolor paper towels. This is a Winsor Newton set of watercolor, pan watercolors in all the basics. Whoops, these are stuck to the lid here. And I love this set. You can get all of your colors just by mixing what's in these basic pans. And it comes with a tiny little brush, little travel size. Okay. And again, a sketch pad, some artist's tape. And I did a little die cut here and just wrapped my artist tape around this. This is great for creating borders on your paper. You can put the tape around to make the shape that you want, and then paint inside your borders and remove the tape when your work is dry. And a basic brush. Oh, I think there might be a few things in here I've forgotten I had. Yeah, these are my Sharpie marker. This is great for watercoloring. You can outline first and then fill in without having to worry about it bleeding with the watercolor paints. Mechanical pencil, a couple of brushes, a water brush. Still has water in it. I need to change that out, I guess. A mini mister for blending, and a pen. So that is my secondary artist pouch. Put these in here and move ahead to the next organizational bag. All right, so that one. And next, I have my hand spinning backpack, and I made this up out of, I believe it was a McCall's pattern in my stash, and so I just put this one together, and then I added some of my little freebie pins on here and a little charm dangle that I made out of some beads. Little fairy. She's so cute. It has a pouch on the front, and then you just open up the top, and inside here I made another pouch. This one has a little horse charm on it. My daughter rides horses, so I couldn't resist that. Unzip it, and then in here I have some colorful wool roving that's been hand dyed. So I use this to create spinning yarn using a hand spindle, which I don't see in the bag at the moment. I must have taken it out to work on another project. But I also have this colorful little roving in here as well to work on. And then also tucked into the bag is a smaller bag that I keep a frame loom in. Let me just show that to you. And then as I'm creating my own hand spun yarn, I can make these tiny little tapestries and using this small portable frame loom. So this is a fun little set. In addition to the wide version, I have this narrow version that you can use to make bracelets and other things that are more narrow, bookmarks and such. So that's in there as well as, you know, a pair of scissors and some other odds and ends for weaving. So that is my fiber bag. Sometimes I'll take this when I go to my spinning bees. We have a local spinning bee that meets once a month. I'll take this with me if I'm going to be doing some hand spinning. Oh, here's a spindle. It's in this other bag. Okay, let me share this with you. If you're not familiar with creating your own yarn, this is a Turkish spindle, and it comes in 3 pieces, and you put this together like so. See the little sheep that have been carved into that? It's just so sweet. So you slide the cross member in this way, and then you take the spindle and slide it up through the middle, and that's your Turkish spindle. And then of course this would spin. I would have my fiber supply above it, and I would spin my own yarn and then wind it on the cross members to create a ball of yarn. So that is what that is. And then here, I think I have a sample. Yep. Here's what we call a turtle. This is what comes off of the Turkish spindle. It's a tiny ball of yarn that's been cross-wound into a beautiful pattern. And then I can use this to spin, or I'm sorry, I can use this to knit or weave with. And tuck that right back into there. All right, so that is my hand spinning bag. Tuck that aside. And I love that this, it's just a small bag. I can grab it. Everything's in there that I need. I don't have to think twice about gathering up all the supplies I need. Okay, the next one is a tote bag that I take when we go camping. I'll take this on vacation, or if I go to visit family members or friends, for the weekend or for a little getaway, I'll bring this along. Now, this was made and given to me by my dear friend Christy. Hi, Christy, if you're watching. And I just love it. And it's just the right size to put a few projects in. And inside this one, I just keep supplies. Here's a little box, an old Vera Bradley case that I had from years ago. And I keep my solid cottons in here. All right, and then I also keep little hand wipes, some scissors. And then also, there's an inside pouch here. I keep some threads in there. There's also some project patterns that I like to keep. These are great for hand sewing. They're very tiny. This one happens to be a hand sewn little pin cushion. It comes with all the materials. I bought this kit up in Maine when we went up on vacation one year. I still need to get to this one. I haven't started sewing that one yet. And then lots of fabrics I've got stacked up inside. Lots of quilting cottons. Here's a jelly roll with lots of pretty fabrics in it. And, oh my gosh, there's another one. Probably don't need to keep all of these in here, but you get the idea. Some more projects in there. Keep some hexies packaged up with some charm squares. I can work on these when I want to do a little hand sewing. Here's a bag of sewn hexies. There's another bag of medium-sized hexies I've been working on over the course of time, and a bag of some smaller finished hexies. Okay, is that it? No, there's some scissors in there and a few other pencils and things. Okay, so that is my sewing bag. Oh, forgot to share. This is a tiny little sewing kit that I made up. And inside, there's just some pins, a little pin cushion, and some needles and thread. It just folds up, tie it, and you're good to go. Okay, all right, so that is my grab and go hand sewing bag. Oh, I'll be right down, I'm just filming. Well, my sister just arrived. We're gonna go out and do some thrifting and craft shopping today. So I just had to let her know that I was busy filming. Okay, so we've got that and this. Set that aside. And then the last thing that I want to share, is this the last one? Almost. A couple of projects here. I've got this mini quilt going, and I've got to do the hand quilting on it, and I missed the last month of our quilting group that meets. We meet monthly, and we do mini quilts. But I've missed the last couple of sessions, so I need to get caught up. But when I go to my quilting group, we generally bring our machines and everybody's busy sewing. But occasionally, if we have a catch-up session, I don't need to bring my machine necessarily, so I just bring whatever quilts I have to catch up on with hand quilting, and I usually bring my goodies in this pouch for that. So this I picked up years ago at Hobby Lobby. It says, "My sewing space is my happy place." And inside is just some threads for quilting, a small scissor, some needles, place to put my quilting pins, and a couple of thimbles, and some beeswax thread. Oh, and a needle threader. So this is when I'm traveling light to Quilting Club. I like these days when they don't have to bring a machine down there. Okay, so anyway, hopefully we'll get caught up on this project soon. Yeah, this, by the way, this is a Tilda collection. I got a set of jelly rolls for the Sanctuary. I think this is the Sanctuary collection. And I just love it. I really love it. Okay, so there's that project. And then this I just finished, and I'm going to be turning this into a pillow. This is crewel work. And I have another pillow that I've just started. I've got to get this finished up. I've got to make some piping for it and then put the pillow together. But let me show you the stitchery on this up close. This is so much fun to do. And you know, my mother was a crewel work. She did knitting, crewel work, sewing, a lot of different crafts. She made her own doll houses. As she started getting older, that was sort of a new craft for her. Anyway, whenever I pick up crewel work and work on it, I have this connection to my mother. But here's the long and short stitches, the little French knots here, and then this is a closed fly stitch, stem stitches, more French knots. So pretty. Yeah. So that's my crewel work there. And yeah, I think that's it. That's everything that I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed watching. And you know, maybe there's some ideas here that you can use as well as far as organizing your own multitude of projects. But I found some of these ideas and ways of organizing my project bags to be very helpful, and really helps me save a lot of time. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I'll be back again soon with more projects and craft fair hauls. Thanks. Bye for now. Bye for now.